Hey there folks, this is GreenyXI, welcoming you right back to Let's Play Higurashi. This is episode 57, and in the last episode there was a very subtle, sort of melancholy bit of chat with our group in the school, and Satoko was missing and all that, so it's all very mysterious right now, but they ended up being really happy anyway. So that's about all that happened, but I quite liked it anyway. Now we're going to carry on with chapter 5 and see what else happens. It looks like it's carrying on with the school part, so... Having heard our friendly banter, Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun walked up and timidly spoke to us. "Excuse me, Maibao-san. Sorry to interrupt your fun, but we need your help with something." They grinned dryly and scratched their heads. "What could it be? Want to know how to remove the censor bars in poor magazines?" God. By the way, don't believe what you hear about butter doing the trick. Total superstition. You can't use an eraser either. Oh no, can't get rid of a bar with an eraser. Wait, what? Seriously? "That's not what we're here for," said Tomita-kun, elbowing Okamura-kun. Actually, our ball got caught in the gutter on the second floor. We were thinking you might be able to reach it since you're tall." "I see. Asking an upperclassman for help comes with its own price, you know. I'm not cheap. You can't buy me out so easily." Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun conversed for a short time and then gave the reply. "We'll give you the right to take a nap during class, Maibao-san." "How's that sound?" "How can they give that right?" "What do you mean? I can sleep during class whenever I want." "Why do I need your permission for it?" "Oh, no you can't. The next time you take a nap, we'll tell Sensei about it." "Oh, blackmail." "Ah! I see, how sly. You little... Where did you learn to bargain like that?" "Had to be Satoko, or maybe Mion." "So sorry. It was just a little joke." "Come on, Kai-chan. Why not just cave into your underclassman's threats?" "Yeah, he's only getting a ball." And now, Mion was getting on my nerves. "Oh, hello." Suddenly it came to me, and I took Tomita-kun and Okamura-kun's hands. "Alright, I surrender. I'll get your ball for you, so give me all the rights to nap time." "Huh? Oh, okay. Look, Mion, I now have the privilege, but you don't, do you? Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, tell her Mion as soon as she falls asleep. Got it?" "Yeah!" Ren and Mika-chan began to cackle at Keiichi-kun's victory. I wasn't sure how the ball managed to get stuck up there, but it was planted firmly in the school building's second floor gutter. "Hand me that stick. I should be able to reach it." "Here we go." Ugh. I took a bamboo pole and poked the ball with it. Damn, it's hard. "Come on." "Oh, we got it. You got it, Maibao-san. Thank you so much." The ball rolled down the gutter and fell down behind the school building. My underclassman ran over in that direction, leaving me by myself. Mission complete, I guess. Sheesh, there was still a lot of time left until lunch break was over. Guess I should go back to the classroom. Might as well go to sleep or something now. I'd absorb myself in a silly conversation with everyone and wait for afternoon classes. Just when I thought that and turned towards the entrance, someone suddenly called out to me. I knew something was going to happen. "Oh, it's him! We haven't seen him yet." I mean, we did in the tip, sort of, but... "Hello there, good day. Sorry for bothering you during your lunch break." It was a middle-aged man I didn't know. Or maybe I'd passed by him a few times, and I'd seen his face, but I didn't know him. When his half-smile deepened, something within me shuddered with fear. There was no basis for that, no reason. But I shuddered. I was somewhat confused about those emotions, not quite understanding them myself. There was one thing I could say, though. Nobody but teachers and students should be at school. This person shouldn't have been here. Oh, mysterious. I felt less of a tremble and more of a sense of dread. Like a brilliantly coloured, poisonous caterpillar were crawling across my forehead. A feeling of disgust that neither itchy nor gross could describe as the frizzly, dreadful hair rubbed against my brow. I didn't even want to see his face. I wanted to jump backwards and run away. An unpleasant feeling for which I didn't even know the cause. The other side of myself has nothing but questions. "Hey, what are you doing? What are you disgusted by? It's the first time you've met him." It's rude to hate someone for no reason. It is, but you can't help judging someone before you get to know them. It's how human nature works. No answers were coming. I held my silence, waiting, a damp sweat running down my forehead. When he saw that, Ooishi thought maybe he was being intimidating and gave me a relaxed smile. "That's better. Oh, please excuse me. I'm no one suspicious, I assure you." "I'm Ooishi, from the Yakunomiya Police Department." "Wait, where did I put my card?" What? This is... What? He fished through various pockets, then finally found his police ID and showed it to me, grinning dryly. He may have been trying to use those clumsy seeming actions to ease my anxiety, but I could definitely say it didn't work. Still nervous. Why was I this nervous? There was a reason, of course. If I wanted today to be the same as before, then today didn't need someone who hadn't been here back then. The fact that a man who wasn't here yesterday showed up today meant that today would be a different day than those before it. That would mark the end of the fun and happy days. I gulped and erased that ominous conclusion from my mind. Calm down, Keiichi Maibara. It's just an old guy who looks kind of perverted and came from the police department. Don't go deciding that the fun times are over. I wonder why he looks perverted. I can't see it myself. I mean, he acts it, but, you know. He just came here because of his job. Yeah, just for his job. If he's working, then he would normally go to the teacher's lounge, right? The fact that he spoke to me, yes, it must have been to ask where it was. You looking for the teacher's lounge? You just have to go through the entrance, and... I didn't want to look at this man for another second, so I started pushing things along. Ooishi, however, didn't seem to have any interest in the teacher's lounge. Oh no, I don't have anything to do there. Could I get you to call a friend of yours, if I may be so bold? Huh? A friend? Who? A girl. Could you call Satoko Hojo-san for me? My consciousness grew faint, like I was about to pass out. Uh-oh, what's going on with Satoko? Yes. My anxiety was realised. The dreadful, disgusting caterpillar was looking at me, about to crawl into my ear. Oh, God, that's a disgusting metaphor. Its frizzly, dreadful hair was touching my ear cavity. Oh, that's reminded me of Uzumaki Spiral. That's how bad it felt. You'll know what chapter I mean if you've read it. But what do the police need with Satoko? No. It's nothing important. I just had 2 or 3 things to ask. I'd like it if you could cooperate with me. Why? Why of all people was it Satoko? Why would a police officer come here in the middle of the day for something that wasn't important? This man was strange. I could smell it. And it smelled bad. Just a whiff of it made me want to grimace. It's the whiskey. I knew that this man couldn't possibly be here to deliver her lost wallet or anything. I couldn't imagine what he needed from Satoko, but it had to be something unpleasant. Yeah, probably. My throat stung with burning pain, burned like a parched, creviced wasteland. The wasteland broke apart deep in my throat, and brought out the words from deep in my mind. You may need something from her, but I don't think Satoko needs anything from you. Could you please leave? Ooishi probably hadn't expected that reply. He stood there surprised for a few moments. I did as well. I hadn't thought words like that could ever come out of my mouth. Things might still work out. This guy may have shown up out of the blue, but if I drove him off, maybe I could make it so that it never happened. If I could do that, then I could get back. The peace we had until yesterday, I could get it back. It's still pretty peaceful, there's nothing much going on, yet. Well, you sure are strict. Are you Satoko-san's manager, perhaps? Can I not see her without an appointment? Sarcastic git. If you just want to talk to her, shouldn't you just call her? Barging into school in the middle of the day isn't normal. Picking through a dam would have been the perfect analogy to use. Ha! Why didn't I like this man? This man shouldn't have been here. I needed to make it so that this man wasn't here. Childish, selfish emotions bubbled up from the depths of my mind, and they each came out of my mouth just as it had been formed. Not liking the guy was my own problem, but to say things so bluntly to him, even I thought I was crazy. Oh, you're the logical sort, aren't you? I'm not too good with people who talk like that. Ooishi grinned and scratched at his sweaty throat. Even as he feigned stupidity, I could tell he was irritated. Hey, Keiichi Maibara, why am I looking for a fight with this old policeman here? It's not like he brought the gift of misfortune with him, all wrapped up in paper, right? Right. It wasn't like he had brought a package of misfortune with him and was asking me to sign here, please. Rationally speaking, I understood all that, so then why was I so... Finally, I outlasted Ooishi in our game of silence, and he gave a big sigh. Then he addressed a few of my female underclassmen running round nearby. Oh, excuse me all of you. Do you have a moment? I'd like you to call Satoko Hojo-san if you could. Ugh. My underclassmen tried to smile in reply, but they noticed the oddly stiff atmosphere around me and seemed hesitant to give an answer quick. Is she not here? Satoko Hojo-san? Hojo-san, she stayed home today. Stayed home? His face remained smiling, but his tone was clearly one of ill humour. Such conspicuous spite caused my underclassmen, who had answered honestly, to cringe in fear. I see. Dear me. I'm quite unlucky. He was smiling broadly, but the way he laughed didn't make me feel better at all. When he noticed that his laughter wasn't getting anyone else to laugh with him, he immediately stopped. So, I don't think I've seen him use that face in another arc. It's quite strict and, furrowed. So, you girls, could you tell me the name of this boy here? He grabbed the girls by the shoulders so they wouldn't run away and crouched down to address them at eye level. He is creepy. The girls flinched away from the sharp, piercing light in his eyes, and in exchange for their release, they didn't resist and told him my name. I see. Keiichi Maibara-san, is that it? He said my full name. That was all he said, and yet I couldn't help but shudder. It was like he had grabbed me by the collar just with those words. Oh, could you be the son of the Maibara family I've heard so much about? Yep. I hear your father is a renowned artist. His works go on display twice a year in the Great Ariake exhibition in Tokyo, don't they? I don't know what sort of fantastic pictures he creates, though. Then there's your mother. She seems intelligent, too. I heard she was a high academic achiever. Maybe. She went to some girls' university, didn't she? It's amazing for someone that age to have graduated from a girls' university. Could your mother actually be the daughter of a respectable family? At least, those are the rumours, and they say she's a cold person because of it. Did you know that? What? She only went to the very first neighbourhood association meeting, right? That's certainly no good. You can't disrespect your neighbours in a place like this. How's that disrespectful? A sense of eeriness slithered up my spine. That was my first experience of true terror. I couldn't believe it felt this terrible, for someone you've just met to know everything about you already. Ooishi clamped onto my shoulders and brought his eyes close to peer into mine. In a place like this, it would be far better not to make enemies, wouldn't it? If not... Ow! Ooishi dug into my shoulders with inhuman strength. Then if something unexpected were to happen, you might see some drawbacks. Have you ever heard of karma? It's like how a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a tornado. Grudges born in strange places could come back to you in ways you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't like that, would you? Threatening. Nobody wants to have a grudge held against them. There's nothing positive about making enemies. What's the matter? Your shoulders are very stiff. Should I give you a massage? See? Feels good, right? Oh. This man wasn't just strong. It was like he knew exactly where to press to make me feel pain. Only 4 or 5 fingers were on my shoulders, and yet the pain made me want to bend over backwards. A few of the girls from my class were pretty shaken up, but didn't seem to want to help me. They weren't sure if they should go call a teacher. Of course they should, he's a nut. As for me, I couldn't take the time to wait until the teacher got here. It hurts. Would you mind leaving things at that? You're hurting him. Oh, hello. Behind Ooishi-san, someone, to my disbelief, it was Coach. Oh my. If it isn't Dr. Irie. It certainly has been a while since we were last in touch. That's the first time he's been called a doctor in this arc, Anna. I might have missed it, but... Discomforted by Coach's sudden appearance, Ooishi laughed scornfully. The vice on my shoulders, however, remained as strong as ever. Never mind the greetings. Please, just let go of my Barakun. Ooishi smiled daringly and glared straight at Coach. He didn't release me in the meantime, of course. I was just thinking of stopping by your place later, Doctor. You always seem so busy and we can never have a good chat. Yes. If you want, I'll chat with you all you like. But please, be sure to have a warrant first. After all, otherwise, I can refuse to go voluntarily into questioning. Coach didn't display a shred of the weird behaviour he'd shown at the baseball game and barbecue. He seems a lot more adult and serious. He stared steadily at Ooishi and thought so that he would release me. His chances were terribly bad, of course. Compared to the relaxed Ooishi, Coach seemed like he was being defeated mentally. It made sense. Coach had a somewhat narrow stature, but Ooishi's body was packed with muscles. It wasn't even a contest. But Coach was fighting for me, without taking a step back. Beads of sweat formed on his face, and though he paled, he was fighting for my sake. Suddenly, Ooishi laughed and let go of my shoulders. My body exhausted, I fell right onto my backside. Oh shit. My Barakun, are you alright? Damn it. I rubbed my shoulders where Ooishi had latched onto them. The pain from falling over went away quickly, but this pain was lingering. Are you alright, my Barakun? This is terrible. Shit. I was just giving him a little massage. Of course you were, twat. My Barasan, aren't you over-exaggerating a bit? Boys have got to learn to man up. Oh, what a twat, seriously. I wanted to retort, but I couldn't think of anything witty. Can you lift your shoulders? Are they in pain? If you're really hurt, then you should have a proper checkup. Let's just go to the nurse's office. Coach lent me his shoulder and walked beside me. What an exaggeration. I'd be the last person to do any sort of permanent damage. Right. I'm still an active police officer, you know. Yeah, after the sort of thing you do. I love how, when he's serious, his glasses just sort of glare up like in anime, showing he's angry. Come, I don't know what you needed to be here for, but if you're finished, then please leave. I'm going to complain about this directly to the chief, so please keep that in mind. So we should. Oh, that's a problem, ain't it? Ooishi-san waved his hand sarcastically, pivoted around, and headed to the car parked by the school gates. And without turning back around, he got in and started the engine. Damn it. Who the hell was he, damn it? He's a detective named Karudo Ooishi. Karudo. Is that the first time we've seen his first name? Karudo. Yeah. And a hooligan. Everyone in the village hates him. I don't think he was so hated in the other arcs either. My Barasan, you should be careful too. Karudo Ooishi. Just like I thought, my gut instinct wasn't wrong. He would be the one. The one to bring unhappiness, misfortune, something that would ruin our peace. Shit, I won't accept it. All these fun days can't possibly end just because some guy like him showed up. I won't accept it. Coach seemed to be familiar with the school, so he brought me to the nurse's office without much trouble. The girls from my class came along as well, looking worried. I imagine doctors and stuff know schools quite a bit because they have to visit them now and again. I don't know, but probably why. Our teacher and the principal, having noticed the disturbance, came to see what was the matter. Did I already say that? I can't remember. Oh, my Barakun, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Well, there was this weird man in the schoolyard just now, and my Barasan. Coach gently interrupted the girls trying to explain. No, it looks like he just fell and twisted something. I think he's alright, but I wanted to make sure. If it's fine with you, I'll borrow the nurse's office for a bit. He's covering for the policeman. Please do, Dr. Uri. The principal gave him a deep bow. It looked like Coach was acquainted with the adults at school. He slid open the doors to the nurse's office, but there wasn't a nurse in there or anything. I'd figured. I'd never seen anyone but Chie-sensei and the principal working here. Coach didn't seem to mind the fact that there was no nurse and quickly made his way into the nurse's office. He instructed me to sit down and started washing his hands in the sink. Oh, I get it. He's the coach for the boys' baseball team. He must be pretty used to treating wounds with first aid. Could you show me where it was? Are you still in pain? No, it doesn't hurt at all anymore. I'm fine, really. I rolled up my shirt and showed him my shoulder. No bruise, not even nail marks. He knew what he was doing. And yet it had hurt so much I thought my shoulders would be crushed. Even the pain had disappeared without a trace. It hurt so much, but there isn't even a single bruise. It just means he's used to doing that. Used to it, huh? The next time you meet, don't provoke him. Nothing good will come of making him angry. If you go home with a uniformed policeman by your side, your family won't like that, will they? Well, you're right. Still, what happened? Why did you end up in a fight with him? He came up and said he needed something from Satoko. Huh? Satoko-chan? Coach's gaze lowered and his expression clouded a bit. Somehow, that gesture seemed to be saying Ooishi was bound to come to Satoko, and did, and that it was no laughing matter. Coach fell silent in thought. Quietly, he took a compress out of the first aid kit and put it on me. Does he still plan on clinging to Satoko-chan? He's a persistent man, I'll give him that, like a snake. He knows something. There's something that's gone on in the past. Coach mumbled to himself. Cling? Does that Ooishi guy go to Satoko's place a lot? Coach didn't answer, but the lack of a denial served well enough. What on earth did the policeman, probably a detective or something, need from Satoko? What mistake had led the detective to cling to the sweetly smiling Satoko? Maibara-san? All right. You just moved here, didn't you? Yes, I did, but... Have you heard anything about Oyashiro-sama's curse and about Satoko-chan? Sort of. Well, I know a few things about it, certainly. Satoko's parents were damn proponents, and their accidental death was because of the curse. You mean that? Coach smiled thinly and dryly. So you know, he said, dropping his gaze. Wasn't it him who told Keiichi about all that, or... I'm not sure now, actually. If I recalled correctly, there was an accident on a viewing platform at the public park she'd gone to with her family, and her parents died. And then, it was just big brother and little sister. And then she was with Rika-chan, and, when they lost their parents, Satoko-chan and her brother Satoshi-kun were given to their uncle and his wife to care for them. Here we go, time to introduce the uncle and aunt. Oh, is that so? Their parents died in the accident and Satoshi ran away, leaving only Satoko to start living with Rika-chan. I'd known that much, but this was the first time I heard they'd been brought to their uncle and aunt. Their uncle was Satoko-chan's father's younger brother. Unfortunately, neither of the couple were people deserving of respect. Coach normally picked his words politely. So when he came out and said they didn't deserve respect, it really made me wonder what kind of people they were. They were shitebags. As soon as Satoko-chan's parents came out in support of the dam, their uncle and aunt took on a lot of the shame in the village as well. They would never have welcomed in Satoko-chan and Satoshi-kun. I've heard that for the siblings, it was a very rough life. Bit by bit, Coach told me about the numerous agonies that Hojo siblings had suffered at their uncle's house. As their guardians, their aunt and uncle sucked up everything belonging to their immediate family. Satoko and Satoshi were crammed into a small room, and their lives were laden with things that were miserable, both for their bodies and minds. In the first place, since apparently their aunt and uncle weren't on good terms, there was no end to their fighting. Jesus, they'll be going to Hogwarts next. And as if in revenge for that, whenever they saw Satoko or Satoshi's face, they would always find fault with them, scold them, yell at them, strike them, and take away meals as punishment. I still shudder to think about it. You've never known any Satoko, but the energetic and healthy one now, so you probably can imagine her face being so deathly pale, a girl always standing dazed in the shade of trees. I couldn't imagine it, and I didn't want to. That was how I honestly felt. But at the very least, Satoko wasn't like that anymore. She may have had a miserable life in the past, but it was different now. Something happened to change that life. Last year, on the night of the Watanagashi festival, their aunt died. She was beaten to death with a baseball bat by a drug addict. Rumours spread of the curse having killed an enemy of the village on the night of the festival. This death wasn't a simple homicide either. They whispered that it was actually Oyashiro-sama's curse. A few days later, the deviant arrested for drug use confessed to further offences and the incident was resolved. However, though it was resolved, no one knew whether the part about it being Oyashiro-sama's curse was true or not. Their uncle is part of Hinamazawa, after all. He apparently grew incredibly frightened of Oyashiro-sama's curse and went into hiding. From what I've heard, he's staying with a lover somewhere in Okanamaya. And Satoko and Satoshi, were they released? Their aunt died and their uncle fled. There was nobody left to torment the siblings then, but, as if picking up their torch, that man started showing up with alarming tenacity. That man? Then Coach lowered his voice just a bit, as if being aware of his surroundings. I mean Ooishi. So this is boy met by Ooishi clinging onto Satoko because he's still going after Satoko even now. Ooishi, the guy from before. The events that just occurred came back to me. The hard-to-describe ominous sensation I felt from him came back to me. He's a little strange. The chain of incidents surrounding Oyashiro-sama's curse have all been solved, and yet he alone doesn't want to accept that. Accept it? The incidents were all solved, and the detectives supposedly with the police department didn't accept that. People say that something bad will surely happen to those he gets close to. In Hinamazawa, they think Ooishi is Oyashiro-sama's... Kai-chan! No! She's ruining it! No! The door flew open with a rattle, and Mion came rushing in. Rena and Vika-chan came running in a few steps behind her, and then Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and a few more of our classmates. Kakai-chan, did Ooishi do something to you? Are you hurt? Was a little bit. Calm down, Mion-san. He's not injured. I only gave him a compress just in case. Keiji-kun, are you really okay? Okay? Everyone was saying stuff about how you were being strangled. Well, not quite. Calm down, Rena. He just squeezed my shoulders really hard. See? There's not even a bruise. Meep. Jeez, what the heck were you all doing? We're friends, right? Why were you just standing around? Why didn't you help Kai-chan? We're sorry, President. Mion yelled at our classmates, baring her fangs. Tomita-kun and the others hung their heads in silence. Quit it, Mion. Tomita-kun and the others weren't even there. Stop blaming them. Damn it! Ooishi! Mion kicked the floor with her heel a few times, her temper running hot. Our teacher, overhearing the commotion, arrived as well. Hey, come on, everyone. Don't make so much noise in the nurse's office. President, take everyone and leave, please. Come on, everyone. Let's get going. Keiji-kun is fine. You too, Mi-chan. Mi almost let her emotions get the best of her, so Rena stepped in instead and led everyone out of the nurse's office. The detective from Okinamaya Station, Kurado Ooishi. It looked like the first impression I'd gotten from him hadn't been mistaken. Satoko's absence had amplified the vague apprehensions I'd felt since yesterday, and Ooishi's appearance basically sealed the deal. Alright, I'll get going. I originally came here for Chie-sensei. Ah, so you had something to do here. Sorry for causing you trouble. Don't be so humble, he said, smiling easily. There was a side benefit to all this. I was lucky enough to experience so much of your soft, silky skin, my Barakun. Oh, God alive, Yatu, didn't he? A fool. With the usual, for Coach anyway. Parting words, he instead continued. Please excuse me. You weren't wounded badly, but please avoid putting pressure on your shoulders or anything along those lines. If you get a high fever, or it starts to swell, contact me right away, okay? I don't think it'll happen though. Oh, that's right, Coach. Before everyone came in, you were going to say something. About what people think Ooishi is to Oyashiro-sama. As he was about to leave the nurse's office, Coach placed a hand on the door and stopped. Right. They think he's Oyashiro-sama's servant. They're just bad-mouthing him though. Oyashiro-sama's servant? Yeah, sent you for the Guardian. Do you know about the serial freak death incidents that occur in Hinamizawa every year on the night of the Watanagashi festival, otherwise known as Oyashiro-sama's curse? What freak deaths? What? Now that I thought about it, I did seem to remember overhearing Mion or someone in class talking about it like a ghost story. Yeah, it's coming back for this arc, we all know it. On the festival day in June, one person would always die, and another person would be spirited away, but they seem to call it demoning away here. What a fine story that was. I figured they made it up to scare me, but it was true. I don't have any idea who first suggested this, but at some point everyone started calling Ooishi Oyashiro-sama's servant. Why? Because they all hate him. Because the rumours go that he decides the sacrifices for the curse every year. This is new. Whenever June came around, Ooishi would start paying frequent visits to Hinamizawa. Because Ooishi had been persistently questioning most of the dead or disappeared people. 4 years ago, it was known that the victim of the dismemberment rumoured to be the sacrifice had been seeing Ooishi numerous times leading up to the incident. The sacrifices 3 years ago were Satoko's parents. Right before their accidental deaths, Ooishi had apparently visited their home. The one who disappeared 2 years ago was Rika-chan's mother. And again, people knew that before she vanished, Ooishi had been talking to her extremely frequently. The one who disappeared last year, Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Satoshi too had apparently been approached by Ooishi many times before he vanished. And then this year. This time, Ooishi was trying to contact Satoko. This isn't a freaking joke. They're rumours, Mayabara-san. There's just some rumours to that effect. I hadn't said that because of the rumours of Ooishi being Oyashiro-sama's servant, or his contacting someone foreshadowing who would be the sacrifice that year. It was because the ominous hatred I felt towards Ooishi was becoming more substantiated, more real. Today, Satoko, she was absent today, wasn't she? Wait, really? That looked like news to Coach. I thought he might know why Satoko was absent today, but... Then I'll get going. You should go back to the others and put their minds at ease. You're right. I will. Clatter. Coach left the nurse's office and headed towards the teacher's lounge. Oh, that's the end of the chapter. I mean, it did bring a lot of foreshadowing stuff into the arc. Ooishi-san, in this arc... Well, we just read it all, but I mean... Ooishi-san in this arc is seen as this evil git who's killing off or making people disappear. Better left untold. So, the villagers like to blame Ooishi. But is it because he's just an outsider? A twat of an outsider, don't get me wrong. But is it because he's an outsider? Or is it because they really believe that he could be, you know, killing them off? He's a policeman. Obviously he can't be doing that. Let's check out the tips. Research notes. Okay, what we got here? The Hojo family. Every year, Ooishi and Satoko curse claims 2 victims. This means that with 4 years in a row, there have been 8 now, but it's worthwhile to note half of them have been members of this family. Note, the curse on the second year, a certain falling accident, involved the death of Hojo, a dam proponent, and the disappearance of his wife. She was pronounced dead the following year after being considered to have vanished under perilous circumstances, so she didn't fall. The curse on the 4th year involved the death of the Hojo siblings' aunt, well, she might have fallen, but didn't find her, who was then their foster mother, and the disappearance of the elder brother, so it was the aunt and the brother. The Hojo family is a poor one, and it's hard to say Mr. Hojo's job went very well. Apparently, upon re-employment via family connections, there was a plan for them to return to the home of the mother's side of the family. They were going to leave the village, I think. For Mr. Hojo, the eviction due to the Higurashi Dam project and the payment of a large amount of compensation money was essentially a windfall. Mr. Hojo aggressively accepted the Ministry of Construction's negotiations from an early stage and selected others from Higurashi who were also dam proponents. It was rumoured he had been bought out by the Ministry of Construction for doing so, but the truth is unknown. Well, they needed the money. It would be fair to agree with it, I think. However, the dam's proponents were in the vastly outnumbered minority. In addition, as the Sonozaki family strengthened its own foundation and promised support against the dam, all of the proponents, save for Mr. Hojo, switched over to the anti-dam side. Oh. At this point, Higurashi was completely united against the dam, and Mr. Hojo was held up to ridicule as a stooge of the dam project's proponents. He was, essentially, used as a scapegoat for the anti-dam coalition. In the end, the dam project collapsed with Ooishi-sama's curse and a dismemberment incident. However, punishment towards the bitter enemies supporting the dam project continues to this day. They're still being punished, that family, Hojos. There are not many left today who supported the dam project, nor who had a negative reputation at the time. If there are any candidates left for the curse, it's the husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year, Teppei Hojo, the uncle, and Mr. Hojo's daughter, Satoko Hojo. Oh, those two are in for it, maybe. Strangely, these 2 are the only candidates left. Will this year's curse come down on the 2 of them? There's more than enough value in observing them both. Aha! So, okay, it's all to do with the dam. Ooishi's post memo. Oh, we're going to read something that he wrote. Our favourite policeman. No, it's to him. To Ooishi-san. There's a call for you from Section 4's Chief Shigeharu. Apparently, the slaughtered corpse in the Okujawa River, the one that we saw at the very start and in a tip recently as well, is related to the S group, the Sonozaki group, as we thought. We're still verifying what happened behind the scenes, but apparently the deceased filled up dozens of self-created fictional bank accounts to their limits with money from the Sonozaki group, reaching around 100 million yen. It appears there were 3 or 4 men with former Sonozaki group connections involved in this. They've already disappeared along with millions of yen. The deceased was tortured on that point for information, and she was clearly slaughtered as an example to others. There are apparently some real wizards chasing down the people who disappeared. They're also spreading letters to related Yakuza groups not to harbour them. There's still no evidence that Teppei Hojo is one of those people. From what Chief Shigeharu had seen, nothing's been announced. For such a dependent, the man wasn't trusted at all. Teppei Hojo has left his apartment in Okinawa and has returned to his former residence in Higurashi. He's returned to the village. That's worth knowing. That's where things are going to start kicking off. I can't wait to actually show you that if you haven't seen it yet. If you haven't played this game or anything before. I can't wait to get going. Anyway, that's not for now though. This has been GreenyXI. I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time when we go for chapter 6. And yeah, like I said, things are about to kick off. See you in a bit, folks.